Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cynthia if you haven't met me yet. And today we're doing a video on my 2021 reading journal and then just my 2022 journal. So 2021 was my first year ever doing a reading journal. I wanted to track how much I read and all of the books that I read in the year. 2021 was really a year of learning about my reading journal and trying to figure out what I actually wanted to do, what I wanted it to look like. I had watched a few different videos on what people were doing, but none of it really fit to the way I ended up using it. However, this is what I have now, and I'm excited to show you guys the chaotic journey of my 2021 reading journal. So, my first page. I believe I found this page from a YouTuber. I will link the YouTuber below because it's been a year since I purchased this page and you guys can see it from there. And then I have these stickers here. I bought most of these stickers from Etsy. I'll link them all in the description below. I believe I bought a pack of like 25 stickers or 50 stickers of like Friends and Stranger Things. And so I have a bunch of those. I ended up like using a lot of them for like different things in my journal, and I believe, did I put any at the end? I didn't, but I did put this really cute picture that I found from Pinterest. But I use a lot of my stickers for my, you know, like, what are those things called? Water bottles? Yeah, I put it on my water bottle and made it really cute. Anyway, so I'll go on to the next page. Just this cute Cynthia's reading journal. And then here is my 2021, the beginning of my 2021. I was inspired by a couple of different YouTubers and Pinterest art that I had seen. And I really just like wanted to write all my favorite quotes from all my favorite books that I read in 2020. Even some like TV shows that I watched. Next is my 2021 anticipated releases. I definitely was prepared for the first 6 months of the year, but then really didn't put any for the last 6 months of the year. I really dropped off in the last 6 months of the year with my reading journal, and I felt a lot of like stress and pressure on it, so that's why I didn't really use it as much. So you'll kind of see that as we go through. Okay, so the next page I have here is my 2020 reads, which actually should be 2021, and I think that I put 2020 because I was hallucinating or something. I wanted to do this really cute like bookshelf setup, and I became obsessed with plants in 2020. So then 2021, of course, I had to bring them all in. I got a fern, a monstera, and some sort of ivy here and an ivy here. I have all the titles of my book on this page and just like wanted to do a cute bookshelf. I did try to write down all the dates that I finished the books, but obviously did not remember and ended up just writing the month. I also tried to put in the rating, which also ended up dropping off. And then I stopped in about June and July when I stopped doing my journal and trying to track. But it was exciting because halfway through the year, I was getting past where I thought that I would be. I don't usually do like a Goodreads challenge or just like a goal because those are too much pressure for me, and reading's supposed to be really fun. So I don't try to like set like a reading goal for myself. All right, this obviously only lasted 3 days. This is my daily reading tracker. I was trying to track all of the pages I read each day, but it just was really difficult for me to track. And I would forget to track it every day and look at how many pages I would read or forget. So it was kind of like not a really good tracker. I do try to track it later in the months that you'll see, but it was not successful again. So this next one is what I really prefer in my journals, which is collage or just like drawings of my books, and just for me to help creatively process everything. I have a terrible, like, I cannot like actually imagine what people look like, so it isn't until like after I read the books that I go and look at like art and different fan art that will help me really kind of see the aesthetic of the book. Into the first of the year, I finished the entire Ember and the Ashes series. I have been reading it since A Torch Against the Night came out, and so I was excited to do like this spread. It's 2 pages, so here is the second page. I finished A Sky Beyond the Storm last year, like it was my first book to finish, so I'm glad that this was what I ended up putting in to the pages. I get all these pictures from Pinterest. I usually just like search up like Ember and the Ashes aesthetic. Then here you can see I tried to write like my thoughts on the book, but did none of that. You do see here I did try to do like a January daily reading count, but here is when I was like, I don't honestly remember when I did that, what I read each day, so I just averaged out all of the pages I read, and yeah, that's kind of it for that. The next series that I read was the Lunar Chronicles, which were amazing. I did not expect it to be so good, but I really wanted it for Christmas because of all these like really beautiful new covers, and of course I got obsessed with it. And then I wrote down some thoughts on Cinder and Scarlet, trying to like organize my thoughts. Are a little crazy. Less so on Cress and Winter. And then I think I've left spaces, yeah, I have some for Stars Above, but here we go. 2. I think I went, okay, because I read Stars Above in February, so I tried to do a February daily count. I obviously didn't read as much in February, or don't remember. I think it was because, I think what happens is that I'll read a series and then I'll like go into a book slump, so I don't really read as much. Okay, so this page, I tried to join this really cool like reading, what are those things called? It's like a reading challenge or something like that, and this one was like Avatar: The Last Airbender theme, so it's gonna happen in like 2021, and every quarter you could read like, to become like a master of all 4 elements, you have to read like specific book prompts based off of like who you want your teacher to be and who you want what waterbending skills or training location you want and that kind of stuff. And I wrote all of that down. I'm pretty sure I read 1, 2 of these books. And I don't know, I didn't finish Freshwater. I think I've tried reading We Hunt the Flames and it just like I didn't finish it. And then like I read Chain of Iron and King of Scars, but yeah, I tried, this was gonna be like a different type of book or like a manga that I was gonna read. This was like just like a kid's book I was gonna read, and I didn't do any of that. So TBRs, I learned last year, were not really my thing, and I can't stick to it because I'm such a mood reader. See, here is my March daily counter. Obviously, I was like, yeah, We Hunt the Flame, yeah, I got Chain of Iron, and then, yeah, I don't know, I just lost track. I also like don't open this book every single night, so it just like didn't become a habit of mine. I put a lot of Chain of Iron thoughts here, and then here's some more thoughts. I tried to write, I think this one I was trying to write thoughts throughout the, like while I was reading. And then after that, I wanted to start trying to like tag my books. I think this lasted for like half a book. Because I do audiobooks and physical books, I read the audiobook and the physical books in conjunction with each other. It's hard for me to like put in like the book tags on them and like go back. So I was just like too lazy to do that. The next books I think I read that I wanted to do thoughts on was The Raven Boys. I wrote down my thoughts. I wanted to do a collage for that, and obviously I have one here and just some like other pictures that I found that I still haven't even glued in. And then I jumped to June, so I didn't even touch my notebook from all of April, all of May. I tried something different here. I think I glued this in at the end of the month. I found this template from Smithy Reads on Instagram, and I just put these pictures here for all the books I read in June at the end of the month. And then here is my daily reads, but instead I decided I would put minutes and pages on here because I mostly, like I said, read audiobooks and also the physical copies. But because I'm an on-the-go kind of person, audiobooks are typically what I read the most, but I always still love the physical copies of the books because if I want to just like sit and read, I don't want to just like stare into space while I listen to the audiobook. So I did do a good job at tracking here my things. I think I got a little mixed up at the beginning here, but I did my best. Okay, so the next spreads I have is for Mr. Impossible, which is the spin-off series that follows the Raven Boy series. Then I read the Heroes of Olympus books by Rick Riordan, and I just felt like this spread was just amazing. After a new series, I always have to do a reread, otherwise I get into a serious slump and like can't read anything. It's very comforting for me and I like it a lot. Then in July, I printed out again all the books that I read that month. And then I tried to do like a July review, but I never ended up getting to it. Then it looks like in July I read the Caraval series, which was amazing. I really liked it a lot. Oh yeah, I was like, I want to write like reviews in here and like kind of do the stats because I hated like this having to write all this repetitive stuff. So I did that here. I like printed these out and like cut them out so that I can use them for the future. And I really liked that. It helps me, I will write the title, the author, like when I started reading, when I ended reading, how long the book was, what format, and then like how I felt about the plot, the characters, how spicy it was, and my final like review on it. I feel like I should have used stars instead, but it is what it is. Okay, in August, I tried something different. Rather than like printing out all the books, I would write out what the books were, when I read it, and then my star rating for them. I think I did that for these 4, and then I don't know when I finished Free the Stars, and then I also am missing one more because I know I read Gods and Monsters. I wanted to do kind of like how many books I read, how many pages I read, how many hours, and like, I don't know what this was supposed to be, but it's obviously empty because I didn't know. I wanted to track all the days I read in August rather than trying to track how much time or how much I read. I was like, maybe I can do this instead. Totally dropped off after the 17th. And then I noticed in August that I had so many books that I hadn't read and I needed to read them before the end of the year or just get them read because sometimes I just like am buying books and have a bunch of books on my shelf. So I decided to just write out on my bookshelf and then just like write out the names and like check them off and like what dates I read them. I later came in like early this year to cross off all the books that I did read, but I just like did it in pencil really sloppily. In August, I buddy read this book with Tips Book Journey on Instagram. I was just kind of inspired to draw this ship. For 2022, the beginning of this year, I felt like I wanted to do something different for my reading journal because last year the way that it worked out, it just like was a little chaotic. It didn't really work out with the way that I wanted to do my journal. I kind of felt like I was just like doing it the way everybody was doing, but everything is trial and error, right? I wanted to go back from last year and see all of the books that I read in 2021. So I went through my Instagram and just like my reading journal to find all of the books that I read last year. And I cut them out and printed them and glued them in here. I read a total of 46 books. I'm honestly really proud of myself. I don't think I've ever read that many books in a year, and it just was like a really good year for me with books. A lot of these books I loved, and I typically don't finish reading books if I don't like them. I don't think I have any books in here that I didn't finish, so I guess I don't really know how to track those. I guess I should put have a little DNF section and books I didn't finish. So next is my 2022 section. It's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, which I love. I was inspired just from an image I think I found on Pinterest to do this. My next page is my 2022 most anticipated reads. I think I need to change this to releases because I'm tracking not only books but TV shows and movies in here. Obviously, that's TV shows and movies are not reads. I haven't filled out this completely because I still have other TV shows and movies that I want to add on here, and just obviously books. And I decided to do it timeline set up because I don't have the names of certain books or the covers yet, and I just wanted to write it in here so I could remember when the books come out. I do actually just put it in my digital calendar, so I don't always go back to look at this, but I do like looking back at it at the end of the year, just so I can go through and see what I was excited for in the beginning of the year, which is really cool. So I got January through December, and then I had space for maybe some 2023 reads that I'll probably start filling out towards the end of the year as they become announced. So next, I made these tabs for each month of the year. And in these months, I plan to just kind of do a review of each month. I don't have anything in them currently, but I do plan to track what books I read that month, just regular statistical information, how many pages it was, how many hours it was, what was my rating, I don't know, and maybe add some other stats in there as well, maybe add books that I purchased, because that'd be interesting to know. So I don't have anything as of yet, but I will starting in January. And I've just felt putting all of this at the beginning was so then everything else that followed was not going to be necessarily needing to be in any chronological order. Plus, this is all the statistical information that I want and need and want to track in my book, which will be a little more, logical in a way. After my January through December, I added my unread shelf, just like I had in here, but I wanted to do it here. I got a lot of books for Christmas. I wanted to make sure that all of my books were in here because I don't want to be the kind of person that has all these books and I'm just constantly buying new books. I want to be good with my money and smart with my money. So my plan is to try to read all of these books this year, at least try them out, decide whether or not I like them. The only books I'm really gonna buy are books to add to, let's say I have Warcross by Marie Lu, but I don't have the entire series, so I would just that's when I would purchase more, or Zodiac Academy. And I'm not going to read these in any specific order. These are just what I have on my shelf, so I'll just cross them off as I read them. And I'm not putting the dates in them because I feel like it would be redundant if I read them and already put it in these sections here. So I have a couple of pages for them. I really honestly thought that this would be more, but I'm glad this isn't. Did a couple of pages of these so then I have space for more when I purchase more books, but honestly this might be a little bit much. Unless I suddenly have more space in my room. And then that's kind of it. So the next pages that I have available, all of these pages following will now be just pages like this. I'm not gonna really do reviews in this journal because I don't really want to use it for that. I'm gonna write reviews on Amazon and on Goodreads and any other place that I can, in my Instagram, because the reviews are for other people and I personally just remember how I feel about them. Maybe I'll put notes and thoughts on different things and quotes that I love and stuff like that, but that's really it. So that is my 2021 flip through and my 2022 flip through. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.